my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed a video for ages and ages. The last video that I filmed, I mentioned that I would be taking a break because we were expecting to be in hospital whilst Rubes had surgery, and then I knew that the recovery would be a really long kind of recovery. We ended up being in hospital for a couple of weeks, longer than we expected. There were some complications to the surgery, and we are now home and kind of getting used to a new way of life, making sure that we incorporate physio and follow the advice of the surgical team and go to all of her checkups and things. But the recovery is going to be likely to take up to a year before they're back to kind of regular movement. There's still a lot of pain at the moment and we're sort of managing that, but yeah, life has been a little bit upside down recently. I have been able to do a little bit of sewing, and whilst I've been away, I've been buying lots and lots of fabric, which is what I've got here. I've got a mountain of fabric to share with you. I'm really excited about using all of the fabrics. I've got plans for most of them, and then I've got loads of patterns to share with you too. I think this video is going to be quite a long one, so you might want to pause it and grab yourself a cup of tea or a drink and some snacks, because I anticipate this being about half an hour, because I've got lots of fabrics to share with you, and also lots of patterns to share with you. So I'm just going to put all this fabric down. I have got two notebooks to help me with this video. I've got one notebook with all the fabrics listed and one notebook with all the patterns listed. But before I start with all of that, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I am wearing a Tilly in the Buttons Mabel dress. I think I sewed this last summer. It's a great dress for when the weather is starting to get warmer. It's got these gorgeous puff sleeves, and then you've got shearing, and it creates like this little kind of ruffle bit. It's got tie detail here, and then there's more shearing under the bust, which brings it in. I really love the shape of this dress on me. And then this was a cotton lawn. I think I got this from Sister Mintaka ages and ages ago. It was in my stash for years, and then this pattern came out. I'll put a picture in of me wearing it, but it's just got a really simple gathered skirt that stops below the knee. I think they describe it as midi length, this dress. So that's what I'm wearing. So like I said, I've got lots and lots of fabrics to share with you. I'm going to just go through, they're not in any particular order in terms of when I bought them. I just went back through all of my fabrics that have arrived recently. So I use my notebook to help me keep track and make sure that I've shared everything with you. So the first lot of fabric that I'd like to share with you are some fabrics from New Crafthouse. They had a massive sale on, and they've still got really heavily discounted fabrics on their website. So I bought loads of fabrics in their sale, and then I'm not going to share all of them actually. I haven't got all of them out. I'm just going to share a couple of the fabrics that I bought, but I bought some pink, I think it was like loop back jersey and pink ribbing, just to make loungewear for at home. So I haven't got these fabrics to hand, they're in my cupboard, but there's other fabrics that I will share with you. There's one fabric in particular that I would really love your help on what to turn it into, and then there's another fabric that I can't share like the whole piece of fabric because actually I used all of it. Yeah, I have used all of it actually, because I've sewn up a jacket and I've sewn up a bag, and the bag pattern I'm actually going to talk to you about. So I'll share that fabric first, but it's been turned into a bag. So the fabric that I was going to share with you is this. It's really bright, almost like a neon. It's described as flame gridded cotton twill. It's a really firm fabric, and I've used it to sew up the BF Patterns Bestie bag. And I went on a recent trip, and this was fantastic for hand luggage. It's a really bright fabric. I don't know if you can see the grid pattern on there, but it's perfect for bags. And I've also used the rest of it to sew up a jacket using the Tilly in the Buttons pattern, and the name has completely escaped me. I can't remember what the pattern's called, but I'll put a picture in now so you can see what the pattern is called. So that was the first fabric that I got from New Crafthouse. So the next fabric that I bought from New Crafthouse, they released a collection of linen fabrics. They were all absolutely beautiful colours. I was tempted to buy lots and lots of them because I really want to sew up some linen trousers for the spring, summer. And I've got the new Tilly in the Buttons pattern, the Thea trousers, and I'm just currently sewing up a couple of pairs of those. So I've got plans for this linen to turn them into the Thea trousers, and I went with this gorgeous sunflower. It's coming up really bright. It is very bright actually. Sunflower yellow linen fabric from New Crafthouse. So I've got enough to sew up the Thea trousers, and I think they're going to make a really gorgeous pair. I think I'm going to go with the cropped version of the Thea trousers, but I think they're just going to make a really gorgeous, fun pair of trousers for the summer. And I'm very excited about getting that fabric pre-washed and then cut out and sewn up. I haven't had a massive amount of time for sewing recently, so I'm really excited about reclaiming some time so that I can do a little bit of sewing, because I've got tons of ideas that I want to get started with. So that was the next fabric I got from New Crafthouse. If they've got any of these fabrics left, and with any of the fabrics that I talk about and patterns, I'll link them down below in the description if they're still in stock. If they're not in stock, I will link the fabric shop so you can go and look at all the beautiful fabrics they've got. So the next fabric I've got, this was in their sale and it was really heavily discounted, and I've eyed up this fabric for ages. I'm going to get my notebook so I remember what it's actually called. It's called Rose and Plum Double-Faced Crepe, and I bought 3 meters of this because there is a pattern, and I can't remember the name of the pattern company, but I can remember the name of the pattern, so I will put an image in now. It's the Peplum top. That's what I want to say it's called. I've probably got the name completely wrong, but there's this really gorgeous like peplum top. It's got this really interesting kind of detail around the peplum, and I've heard that this type of fabric works really well for that pattern. I think somebody used it on the sewing bee a few years ago, and that's why I became aware of the pattern. And this was so heavily discounted that I thought now was the perfect time to get some and give that pattern a try. So it's got like a rose coloured pink on one side and then a plum colour on the other side. And I got 3 meters, so I've got enough to turn it into a dress, which is what I would like to do. I think the pattern was sleeveless, and I think you can either extend it into a dress or there is a dress option. I know there's definitely a top option. It's got this really interesting, almost like it kind of like sticks out the peplum detail on the top. I wish I could remember the name of the pattern, and I should have researched it before I filmed this video. I have a feeling this video is going to be a bit all over the place because it's been such a long time since I filmed a video. But I have plans to turn that into that pattern that I can't remember the name of. But hopefully I've found it and I have been able to put an image in for you. If they've got any of that fabric left, I'll link it down below for you because it was really heavily discounted. And like I said, New Crafthouse have still got tons of fabric that are really heavily discounted. The flame gridded cotton twill, I think was like £2.50 per metre, which was amazing. And that is perfect for sewing up bags and also jackets. The next fabric I wanted to share from New Crafthouse is this raspberry crinkle crepe fabric. It's a really slippery, drapey fabric, and I really don't know what to turn it into. It's really lightweight, almost sheer. I don't know, you can kind of just make out that I've got a dress on underneath. I don't know if I would have to line it if I sewed up a dress. I got 2.5 meters of this. I wasn't really sure what the weight was going to be of it. That's the danger sometimes when you're shopping online. I couldn't really get a kind of idea of what the weight of the fabric was or what it would be in terms of sort of drape and movement and how sheer it would be. I worry a little bit that if I turned it into a dress or a skirt and I didn't line it, you would be able to see my underwear. But I feel like it needs to be something that's going to really showcase that beautiful drape. It is so slippery, this fabric, and it just moves and hangs so beautifully. So if anyone's got any ideas for what to turn this into, it's quite a wide fabric. I want to really make the most of that beautiful drape. It's absolutely stunning. Please let me know in the comments below what you would turn that beautiful fabric into. I absolutely love that colour. I think it's stunning. And there is a theme actually with quite a lot of my fabrics. I'm just looking at them now. There's a lot of bright florals and sort of pinks in a lot of the fabrics. I'm really loving the brightness of that colour at the moment. The next 2 pieces of fabric are exactly the same fabric and I would like to use them together. The New Crafthouse released a beautiful collection of pre-pleated fabrics. And the 2 pieces that I went for are in a really gorgeous summery yellow colour. I won't hold up both of them, I'll just hold up one of them, but they are absolutely stunning. There's such a gorgeous amount of sort of movement to them. I really want to turn these into a skirt, and I've got enough. I've got 1 panel for the front and 1 panel for the back. The problem I have is this is really long, and if I turned it into a skirt, there's about 50 centimetres worth that would hang on the floor, and I'm not quite sure the best way to shorten the piece of fabric. I don't really have experience of pleated fabrics really where I've had to shorten them. So if anyone's got any tips for me, I would really appreciate it. But you can see how long it is. I would anticipate and guess that my best bet would be trimming it from the bottom, which makes me a little bit nervous because I don't think I would need to hem this fabric. I think I could leave the hem raw, and at the moment it's really crisp and perfectly straight. And I really worry about my scissor skills not being able to get such an accurate cut along the bottom. So my plans are to turn it into a really beautiful skirt. I think I'm just going to get some elastic and just make a really simple pleated elasticated waist skirt. But I just need to be brave and work out the best way to shorten that beautiful fabric as well. But I've got 2 panels, so one for the front and one for the back. Absolutely stunning colour. Look how that moves, it's absolutely beautiful. Lots of their pre-pleated fabrics, that's really tricky to say, sold out really quickly. So I'm not sure if they've got any left, but they might have a couple of pieces that are left. So I'll link it down below. I think the yellow one's sold out, but if they've got other ones, I'll link them down below just in case you're interested. But yeah, they're absolutely stunning, really beautiful quality. And the movement of the pre-pleated fabric is just absolutely stunning. So I'm very excited about that. I just need to be brave. So that was all of the fabrics that I got from New Crafthouse. So the next fabric I bought is from Pound Fabrics, and I was influenced by Tammy Handmade, who shared some beautiful striped fabric that she bought from there. So I went onto their website. It's actually, I think it's £1.50 a metre, this fabric at the moment, so it's an absolute bargain. And as well as enjoying pink, I'm also really clearly enjoying yellow, because there's a lot of yellow in my fabric stash as well. And I've got 4 meters of this fabric. Usually on Pound Fabrics, you have to buy a certain, like a minimum length of fabric. I think I had to buy 2 meters of this. And because it was only £1.50, I thought I might as well buy 4 meters. So that's what I did. And I've got plans to turn part of this fabric into the Tammy Handmade Gia or Gia dress. G-I-A, I don't know how you pronounce it. Using this gorgeous stripe rib knit fabric. I think that will make a really cute summer dress, and then plans to use the rest of it to turn it into a Westcliff dress. Friday Pattern Company, is it Friday Pattern Company? I think it is. And then the rest of the fabric I'm going to turn it into the Westcliff dress, which is one of my favourite wrap summer dresses. I think this will make a really cute Westcliff dress, and I've got plenty to sew up both of them. You can see how much fabric I've got. It's a really beautiful fabric actually. It's quite lightweight, but it's not sheer. It's got really good stretch. It's really bouncy fabric as well. I think it will make a really cute maxi Westcliff dress, and I also think it'll work really nicely for the Tammy Handmade dress as well. And I really love the sort of rib knit effect and that beautiful lemon yellow with the white stripes as well. They've still got loads of this fabric in stock, so I will link it down below for you, but that was from Pound Fabric. The next selection of fabrics I've got are from Fabric Godmother, and I've bought these in various kind of stages. They've had some absolutely stunning fabrics on their website. In fact, they've got loads of stunning fabrics on their website. Can't remember if I got any of these in the sale, because they recently had a sale on. But the first one I'm going to start with, they released 2 of these fabrics, one in a pink and one in a green. I was very tempted by both, but I just went with the pink, and it's a vegan leather. What do they call it? Yeah, a metallic vegan leather. Look how stunning that is. It's like a metallic kind of beautiful pink colourway. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to turn this into a jacket. I'm not sure what pattern I'm going to go for yet. I haven't quite decided, but I think this is just going to make a really fun, oh, it's all stuck together. I think it's going to make a really fun, cool jacket for like the spring, summer, and even the autumn time actually. Look how fun that is. It's like holographic, beautiful fabric, really high quality. I think it's going to be a really fun fabric to sew up. It might be a bit of a pain to sew up actually, because it feels quite sticky. It was all just sticking together. So I'm going to do my research on what type of needle I need to use, what type of thread I need to use, and then I need to decide what pattern to turn it into. I was thinking this would make a really cool Tilly and the Buttons sunny jacket. I've been sewing that up recently. I'm really enjoying sewing that up. I would need to line it, I think. The inside is just a plain white, and I think it would need some kind of beautiful lining, maybe some floral fabric on the inside. I'm not sure what this would be like for a collar. I'd have to have a little think about that, but that might make a really fun, cute Tilly in the Buttons sunny jacket. They had an absolutely stunning green version of this fabric. I feel a little bit sad that I didn't buy the green fabric. I can't remember if there's any left in stock. But I just fell in love with that pink colourway of this fabric. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I'm very excited to turn that into a jacket. I just need to have a little think about whether the sunny jacket's the right pattern to use, or if there's another pattern that I've got in my stash. Absolutely stunning though. The next 3 fabrics, I've wanted these fabrics for a while when they were first released, but they all sold out, and then Fabric Godmother got them back in. It's their Gwyneth gingham fabrics in lots of different colourways, and I've bought 3, just looking for them. I've bought 3 colourways and I'm going to pair them together. So I went with a pink, an orange and a yellow. Look how beautiful they are together. All seersucker fabrics, cotton seersucker fabrics, and I think those 3 go absolutely beautifully together. And I'm going to use all 3 to sew up a summer dress. The pattern I think I'm going to go for is the new Crafthouse everyday dress, because that lends itself really nicely to colour blocking. Alternatively, I'm sure there's other patterns I've got in my stash, and if anyone's got a better idea or a different suggestion for what pattern I could use to sew these 3 together, please let me know in the comments below. But I was thinking pink on the top for the sleeves, orange for the first tier on the skirt, and then the yellow for the final tier on the skirt as well. I got 2 meters of each fabric, so I've got 6 meters, which is plenty to sew up the new Crafthouse everyday dress. And I think those 3 together will just look absolutely stunning. They're really beautiful fabrics, and I love just the brightness of the colours, the neon kind of brightness of that pink, and then the orange, and finally that beautiful yellow. I think they're absolutely stunning, and I'm really excited about turning those into a beautiful dress for the summer. The next fabric I bought from Fabric Godmother is a waffle knit fabric, and this was described as a waffle stripe cotton jersey in this really gorgeous like sage green and white. It's kind of like an off-white colour. I've got enough of this fabric to turn it into the new pattern by Tammy Handmade, the Gia dress. I think this will make a really beautiful kind of relaxed everyday kind of Gia dress. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's got enough stretch and recovery for that pattern as well. And I just think that fabric, I love the sage green. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I think it's going to make a really lovely Gia dress. So I'm very excited about that as well. I'm excited about all of the fabrics that I've got and all of the plans that I've got. But yeah, I've sewn up the Gia dress using some fabric from Fabric Godmother in like a navy, and I think it was like a purpley pink stripe. And it fits really nicely. It's got side slits. I'll put an image in of what the pattern looks like. It's a really lovely summer dress, and I've seen so many beautiful versions over on Instagram. And then final fabric from Fabric Godmother. I have been resisting this fabric for absolutely ages, but it's such a beautiful fabric. Once I saw this fabric, and I don't know if anyone else has had this, but once you see a fabric, you fall in love with it. Try and resist it, but I couldn't get it out of my head. So I did go back and buy this beautiful fabric. It's a cotton jersey, and it's called Pop Blossom Cotton Jersey. I got 2.5 meters, and it's in a petrol colourway. I just love all the colours are similar to fabrics that I've bought recently, but the pinks, the yellows, the greens, I think they're absolutely stunning together. I'm not sure what to turn it into yet. I've recently sewn up the, what's the pattern company called? The Kilo Wrap dress. I think it's named Clothing Kilo Wrap, but I didn't do the wrap dress, I did the jumpsuit. And I did think this might make an absolutely stunning jumpsuit. The alternative is using it to sew up my favourite jersey dress, which is the Friday Pattern Company Westcliff dress. But I've got so many versions of that dress that I think maybe I should use this fabric for something different. And this might work for the Kilo jumpsuit, the wrap jumpsuit. I think you can sew the wrap jumpsuit sleeveless or sleeved. The version I've just done, I sewed it up with sleeves. But I think if I was to use this fabric, I would probably do it sleeveless. Or I might do like a short sleeve. I need to go and have a look at the hashtag on Instagram to see if anyone's done that with a short sleeve, because the version I've done, it's got a long sleeve, and the fabric that I've chosen is more like an autumn winter fabric, whereas this one, I think you could wear it all year round. It's absolutely stunning. So a couple of ideas with that fabric. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to turn it into yet, but it's absolutely stunning. So I'm really pleased that I managed to get some of that fabric. So the next fabric that I've got to share with you is from Rainbow Fabrics, and somebody shared this on their stories, and I know what I'm going to turn this fabric into, and I bought this fabric with a project in mind. I don't always buy fabrics with a project in mind, but this one I definitely did, and I want to use this gorgeous fabric. I think it was a viscose challis, yes. So it's called Pink and Red Animal Print Viscose Challis, and it's absolutely stunning. I've got 5 meters of this fabric. I don't often buy that much fabric. Normally I go for like 2.5, 3 meters. But I want to use this beautiful fabric. Look how much it moves. The drape on it is absolutely stunning. Look at that gorgeous drape on the fabric. So I want to use this fabric to sew up the Silver Saga Eleonora dress, and it's a pattern that uses between 4.9 meters and 5.5 meters of fabric. So I think I should have enough with this gorgeous fabric. Stunning. I love the pink and the red together. And I'm going to use this fabric as more of like a toile. I think I got 20% off it, so it wasn't a very expensive fabric. So I'm planning to use this as a toile, and hopefully it will turn out as a wearable toile, because I've got another piece of fabric that I bought from Hey So Sister, which I'll share in a second, which I want to use to sew up the Eleonora dress by Silver Saga Patterns. And I'll go into more detail about the pattern at the end, because it's one of the patterns that I've bought recently. But I think this would work really nicely for that pattern. It's got a really nice amount of drape and movement, and I think it would look stunning as that pattern if the toile works out. So let me show you the fabric from Hey So Sister, and I bought this with the Eleonora pattern in mind, and I got enough to sew up the dress. So 5 meters of this double gauze fabric. I think it's such a fun fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of like coral. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love all of the colours, and I think this will work really nicely for that pattern. Double gauze is one of the fabrics that's recommended by Silver Saga Patterns for the Eleonora dress. And Hey So Sister have still got some of this fabric left, so I will link it down below. But I think the double gauze is going to make a really lightweight summer dress, and I just fell in love with the beautiful shape and style of the Eleonora dress. So I'm very excited about turning this fabric into that pattern. I think that's going to look absolutely stunning. And I think it'll be perfect to throw on in the summer when hopefully we get lots of lovely sunshine. So the next lot of fabric I've got to share with you are from Sewmesunshine. So I've bought a few pieces of fabric from Sewmesunshine. The first fabric I've got to share with you is a quilted fabric, and I fell in love with the beautiful colours on this fabric. So it's lots and lots of sort of pinks and purples and yellows again. There's definitely a theme to all the fabrics that I've been buying recently. Those are colours that are just really jumping out at me, and I'm really drawn to them. And I want to use this fabric to turn it into some kind of lightweight jacket for the evenings, maybe in the summer when it does get a little bit cooler. The inside has got this really gorgeous dainty floral design. It's pre-quilted, and it's not too thick as a pre-quilted fabric. I don't know what pattern to turn this into, so if anyone's got any suggestions, I've used the Megan Nielsen, I think it's called, Havea jacket for a lot of my pre-quilted fabrics, but I don't want to use that jacket. I'd like to use a different pattern. So if anyone's got any suggestions on what I can use this pre-quilted fabric for, I really just want a relaxed kind of throw-on jacket for when it gets a little bit cooler in the evenings. Please do let me know in the comments below. I think they had this in 2 different colourways. I'm not sure if they've got any of this left, but again, I'll link it down below if they have. But it's absolutely stunning. Screams summer to me, those colours and that beautiful floral design. So beautiful. And then Sewmesunshine shared in their stories these beautiful crochet lace fabrics in 2 different colourways, and I bought, maybe there was more than 2 colourways actually. Maybe there was 3 or 4, but I went for these 2 colourways. I think I got 2 meters of each. This is like an orange themed one, so it's got orange, cream, yellow, green and brown. Such a beautiful, interesting fabric. I've not seen a fabric like this before. I think those colours are very retro colours, and it is see-through. You know, you can see through because there's gaps between the crochet effect of the fabric. It looks like rickrack all kind of knitted together. I'm not sure what I'm going to turn it into. I originally thought maybe like a cardigan, but it would work really nicely as like an oversized kind of jumper to go over like a vest top or something as well, and maybe paired with a pair of shorts. I'm not sure what pattern to use for either of the colourways, but it was such a beautiful fabric and really different to anything I've ever seen before. And I couldn't decide between these two colourways. So that was the first colourway. And the second one is like a pink, cream and blue effect fabric. It's exactly the same as the other fabric. You can see that it's see-through. Again, I feel like it looks like lots and lots of rickrack all kind of knitted together. It's got a little bit of stretch to it. I think I am going to turn it into like a little kind of cardigan or a jumper that can go over the top of like a vest top underneath. I just don't know what pattern I'm going to use for either of the fabrics. So if anyone's got a suggestion of a pattern that I can use these beautiful fabrics with, please let me know in the comments below. Such an unusual fabric and really beautiful colours that go really nicely together as well. So I'm looking forward to using both of those fabrics and thinking about what pattern I can use with both of them too. And then from Sewmesunshine, I also got beautiful bright pink, I think this was described as raspberry as well, linen fabric, and I'm going to turn these into a pair of trousers. I think I'm going to use the Tilly and the Buttons Thea pattern for this beautiful linen, just to make a really nice pair of bright summery trousers. It's a really beautiful quality linen fabric, and they had a few colorways of linen fabric on their website. So if they've got this one left, I'll link it down below, but they've definitely got lots of other colorways of linen fabric. So I know exactly what I'm going to turn that into. And then I've got this beautiful viscose twill from Sewmesunshine. Just got this gorgeous floral detail all over it, and this is a fabric Godmother fabric that I got from Sewmesunshine, and I'm going to turn this into a dress. I've recently sewn up the Calvin wrap dress, and I think this would work really nicely as the Calvin wrap dress. I've also recently sewn up the Friday Pattern Company's saltwater slip, and I thought this might make a beautiful saltwater slip. And they would make really beautiful summer dresses. So those are a couple of ideas that I've got for this beautiful fabric. Again, I just love the bright colours that are on there. There's like orange and pink and green and blue and purple, and I just think it's stunning. And I think it needs to be turned into a beautiful summer dress. Then I've got two more fabrics that I've got from Sewmesunshine, and I've got patterns in mind for both of them. So this is a Nerida Hansen cotton poplin, and it's described as making waves in a pink, beautiful green colourway. And I've got enough of this fabric. I think I've got 5 meters of this fabric, and I'm going to be turning it into the Silver Saga Eleonora dress. I think this will just make a stunning Eleonora dress. And then the other fabric, I got 5 meters as well, because I want to turn it into the Eleonora dress. I think I'm going to become a little bit obsessed with that pattern. I just love everything about it, and I will share pictures of that pattern in a minute when I go on to talk about patterns that I've also been buying. This fabric is a bit more drapier than the Nerida Hansen fabric. It's absolutely stunning. It's on a white background, and it's got all these beautiful flowers. This was called a viscose lawn flower pop fabric. It's got a really gorgeous amount of drape that you would expect from a viscose lawn, and it's got this really gorgeous softness to the fabric because it's a lawn fabric as well. And I think that's going to make a really pretty summer dress. And I've got enough of this to turn it into the Eleonora dress as well. Look how much it moves and floats. It's just so beautiful. And I think that's going to make a really gorgeous dress. So I'm looking forward to getting that pre-washed and cut out. I need to carve myself lots and lots of time for all of these sewing plans that I've got. But lots and lots of beautiful fabrics from Sewmesunshine. And then I've got 2 pieces of fabric from Like So Amazing. So Sarah made the decision to close Like So Amazing, and she shared it on Instagram, and then she had a massive sale, and then lots and lots of fabrics just kept on getting discounted. I did keep going on there to see if there were any fabrics that caught my eye, and there were 2 pieces of fabric that caught my eye. I resisted for ages, but then when she advertised on Instagram that she was having her final discounted sale, I couldn't resist any longer, so I went on there and bought 2 pieces of fabric. The first one is a Ruby Star Society fabric. It's this really fun roller skate fabric on this really bright pink background. It's absolutely stunning. And then all of these little gold stars I think it's so beautiful. I think I got 3 meters. Did I write down how much I bought? Yeah, I got 3 meters of this fabric. So I want to turn it into a dress, but I don't know what dress pattern to go for. It is a cotton fabric. So it hasn't really got a huge amount of drape, but I just think it's such a fun fabric. It's quite a narrow fabric actually. The Ruby Star Society fabrics do tend to be quite narrow, but I have got 3 meters. So if anyone's got a suggestion of a dress pattern that I can use this really fun fabric for, please let me know in the comments below. I couldn't resist the colour, and I thought it was really fun with those roller skates on there too, and those beautiful gold stars. You can see them shimmering a little bit. So please let me know what your thoughts are on what I could use this beautiful fabric for. I would appreciate it. And the other fabric I couldn't resist. It's just a cotton jersey, but it's got troll print all over it. And I've bought this for Ruby and Lola. I'm going to turn it into a little t-shirt for both of them. And the trolls are all neon. And then there's like these, they look almost like lightning bolts. And then just these little like dashes and dots and different shapes and things. So I've got 2 meters of the troll jersey fabric, so I can turn them into a t-shirt for Ruby and Lola, which I think they'll enjoy wearing as well. And then I've bought a beautiful piece of fabric from First for Fabrics. I bought this a while ago. It's absolutely stunning. I think I'm going to turn this into Friday Pattern Company Westcliff dress. It's a stained glass effect viscose jersey, and it's absolutely stunning. It's got a beautiful amount of drape and sort of bounce to the fabric. You can see that lovely bounce. I love the colours in it and that stained glass effect. The colours are just absolutely stunning, and I think this will make a really beautiful Westcliff dress. So that's exactly what I'm going to turn it into. I think I got 3 meters of this fabric, which is more than enough to sew up the Westcliff dress. Absolutely stunning. They've got some beautiful viscose jerseys on their website at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. I've been able to resist most of them, but this one I just couldn't resist it at all. It's stunning. And then another shop that's had a closing down sale is Faye Studio Jepson. So she announced, I think about a year ago, that she was closing her fabric side of the business. She's still got the patterns, but she was closing the fabric side of the business. And then recently on Etsy, she had a massive sale where some fabrics were reduced by like 60 or 70%. So I went and had a little look because I absolutely love her business and I wanted to support her. And they had a very unseasonal fabric, but I bought it anyway because I thought it'd be perfect for when Christmas does come around. So apologies for using the word Christmas in a video that's coming out in the summer. But this fabric is just a cotton jersey fabric, and it's got Santas all over it. And I just thought that was a really fun fabric. And I know that if I turn it into a cute little t-shirt or a little dress, the children that I teach will absolutely love seeing me wear something made out of this really fun Christmas fabric. And then I absolutely love anything that's got a tiger on it. So the teddy that I have with my class is a tiger. So I love anything that's got tigers on. Lola absolutely loves tigers too. So I'm always drawn to fabric that has got that kind of print on it. And there were 2 pieces of fabric that had animals all over it. So the first one is this absolutely beautiful, I think it was a Dashwood Studio fabric, and it's just a cotton. I think it was like a quilting cotton, and it's got loads of animals all over it. So there's the tiger, koala, giraffe, elephant on a navy background. I think it's a really fun fabric. What was it called? Let me have a look. So it's just a cotton fabric, and I got, it's a Dashwood quilting cotton, and I got 2 meters of this. So that is enough to sew up a really simple, I think I'm going to use the Alice Irvine tutorial for a flat fronted skirt. So I can decide the length of the skirt and how gathered I want it to be. I think that will make a really fun skirt, and a skirt that I can wear all year round. I think I could wear it with a polo neck top for the winter, but I could also wear it with like a strappy top for the summer as well. And then the other fabric I bought with a bag pattern in mind. So this is a canvas fabric, and I got 1.3 meters of this. So it's enough to sew up a bag. And again, it's got tigers all over it, and this gorgeous jungle print. And I want to use this canvas fabric to sew up a bag. There's a couple of bag patterns that I've bought recently that I'm going to go on to talk about. So that's what I want to use this really fun fabric for, to sew up a bag. And then the final 3 lots of fabric that I have got, I bought from Fleur ears, and they had a big sale on as well, which is why I bought these fabrics. They're fabrics that I've eyed up for absolutely ages, and I resisted and resisted, but then when there was a big sale on, I think there was something like 40% off, I couldn't resist buying these fabrics any longer. So they're all cotton fabric. The first one is a cotton fabric, and I got 2.25 meters of all of the fabrics. That was all that was left of the fabrics. So this one is called Lemons, and it's got all these different sliced fruit all over it on a really lovely green background. I thought this fabric would be perfect for the So Fruity challenge that's coming back this year in June. And I'm not sure whether to turn it into a dress or whether I just turn it into a really gorgeous skirt. I haven't fully decided, but I love how vibrant and bright that fabric is. Love the colour green, but I love all of those fruits that are all over it as well. Absolutely beautiful fabric. Then this fabric is a bit unusual for me. It's on a blue background, and it's got these really large scale print, well, they're not actually that large scale, but it's got all of these flowers all over it. And I wasn't sure at first whether it would be a fabric that I would like, but actually when it came in the post, it's so stunning. That vibrant blue on the background really makes all of those beautiful flowers really pop as well. I feel like this needs to be a dress. I feel like as much of this fabric needs to be showcased, and I think it would look really beautiful as a dress. I've got 2.25 meters. It's not a very wide fabric, so if anyone's got any suggestions on what dress pattern I can use, please let me know in the comments below. That one is absolutely stunning. They're all cotton fabrics, like I said at the start. And then the final fabric has got these really gorgeous ladies on it, and birds, and I'm trying to work out, I think they've picked some flowers. This was called Flower Field. I fell in love with the design. I thought it was a really cute design, and it's got a green background, which is a win in my eyes. Absolutely stunning. And again, I feel like this needs to be a dress. You can see it's not a very wide fabric either, and I've got 2.25 meters. So if anyone's got any suggestions on what dress pattern I could use, I could always go back to my favourite dress pattern, the Dear and Dear Myosotis. But if anyone's got any suggestion of a different pattern, please let me know in the comments below, because I think that fabric is really fun and it just deserves to be turned into a beautiful dress. So that was all of the fabrics that I wanted to share with you. I'm really excited about all of the fabrics, and I've got plans for most of them. But if there are any ideas that jumped out to you when I was sharing the fabrics, please do let me know in the comments below, because I'd really love to get suggestions on what I can turn the fabrics into as well. So now on to patterns, and I have been buying a couple of patterns. I've had a lot of time to look on social media and scroll Instagram and get lots and lots of inspiration. So there's a couple of patterns that have come out that are new, and then there's patterns that aren't new, but I have fallen in love with them. And Sewing Bee's back on our TVs as well, so I feel like I'm going to get inspiration from the Sewing Bee as well. The first pattern is by True Bias, and it's called the Darla Dress and Jumpsuit. It comes in two different size bandings, so 0 to 18 and then 14 to 32. You can make up a dress or you can make up a jumpsuit, and there's 4 different views. So view A and B are both dresses, and view C and D are both jumpsuits. And then you can choose between a mini or a maxi length. I will put images in of all of the patterns that I talk about, because I haven't got the instructions printed to hold up. I tend to just put them on my iPad and follow along as I'm sewing. It looks like a really beautiful dress and jumpsuit pattern, and there's 2 different options for finishing off the bodice. You can either do just a regular bodice, which is finished with an invisible zip down the back, or you can sew a version which has got like this really beautiful tie back closure, and it's the tie back closure that I'm really interested in having a go at sewing up. So I have bought the pattern, it's arrived, I've traced it off, I've cut out some fabrics. I'm really excited about giving that a try. In terms of fabric recommendations, they recommend lightweight woven fabrics like a cotton lawn, a rayon, a linen or a silk. So lots of the fabrics that I've shared in this video would be perfect for this pattern. So I'm going to give it a go sewing it up with the fabric that I've cut out. And the fabric I've cut out is a cloche fabric that I got from New Crafthouse ages ago. I think I bought it in their sale as well. Quite often they have sales every so often. And it's a really beautiful white fabric which has got these gorgeous large scale print flowers printed all over it. So I think it should make a really beautiful Darla dress. And then once I've sewn it up, I will report back and let you know how I got on with it. But it looks like a really beautiful pattern. The second pattern I've bought is a new release from Nina Lee Patterns, and it's called the Mariposa Bow Dress. And I'll put an image in of what it looks like now. It comes in 2 different size bandings, so a 6 to 20 or a 16 to 28. It's described as a summer dress with all of the drama. It's got these beautiful big puffy sleeves, a 3-tiered skirt, and the versions that Nina has shared are absolutely beautiful. And then there's a bow to fasten at the back. Now last summer I hacked the Tilly the Buttons Mabel dress with the sew over it. They've got a pattern which has got a tie back bow detail, and I mashed the 2 patterns together to create a dress that was very similar to the Nina Lee Mariposa bow dress. The difference between the one that I sewed up was it just had a gathered skirt, whereas the Mariposa bow dress has got 3 tiers. So I've bought the pattern because I'm lazy and I want to make sure that I've got the correct dimensions for the 3 tiers. And I'm really excited about giving this a try. I feel like it needs to be made up in a gingham fabric because it's absolutely stunning. I haven't been through my stash to work out which fabric I would use for this, but quite a lot of the fabrics that I have bought and shared with you today could equally work really well for the Nina Lee Mariposa dress. Because there's a lot of fabrics that I've shared that I've said I'm going to turn into the Eleonora dress, but I could change my mind and use one of the fabrics to sew up the Nina Lee Mariposa dress. So in terms of fabrics, they recommend light to medium weight fabrics like a cotton lawn, a poplin, linen, viscose linen, double gauze, or a regular linen fabric too. So I'm very excited about giving that pattern a try as well. And then the next pattern I wanted to share is not a new release, but it's a pattern that I've seen shared loads on Instagram recently, and it's the Silver Saga Eleonora dress, and it comes in sizes UK 6 to 22. It's described as a romantic summer dress, and it's inspired by the vintage chemise dresses. It's got lots of beautiful features about it, and I'll put an image in now so you can see what it looks like. The dress is adjustable, which makes it really easy to fit the dress due to the tie and elastic at the neckline and the waist. It comes with A to E cup sizes, gathered raglan sleeves with an elasticated channel which creates this beautiful ruffle detail, and then there's a gathered midi skirt which has got 4 panels. So this pattern takes a huge amount of fabric. So it's between 4.9 and 5.5 meters of fabric, and it's due to the paneling that you get on the beautiful skirt. I've read a couple of blogs where people have said that they haven't cut the skirt as 4 separate panels, but what they've done is they've cut it on the fold, and that meant that it took up less fabric. So I'm going to try it both ways because I've got enough pieces of fabric to try and sew it up as the pattern suggests, but also as other people have suggested by cutting the skirt pattern on the fold. So I'll let you know whether it saves fabric cutting it on the fold. I will report back once I have tried this dress, but I've got lots and lots of fabrics that I would love to turn into the Eleonora dress. It's got pockets and a deep hem, and views A to C, the neckline has got ruffles and a channel that's adjustable with tie and elastic. View B has got an elastic channel under the bust, and view C has got shearing above the waistline. So quite similar to the Mabel dress actually in terms of that shearing. It takes, like I said, a lot of fabric, and in terms of fabric recommendations, they recommend lightweight woven fabrics like a cotton voile, a lawn and double gauze. It's an absolutely stunning dress, and looking at the hashtag on Instagram, there are so many beautiful versions. So I'm very excited about sewing up that dress pattern. And then the final 3 patterns I've got to share with you are bag patterns, and I've got the fold line to thank for me buying these 3 patterns because, well, actually 2 of the patterns I've got the fold line to thank. Georgie from Hey Sis Sister shared the BF Patterns Bestie bag, which I fell in love with and immediately went and bought it. But 2 of the patterns, I watched the fold line, one of the fold line videos where they shared lots and lots of different bags and bag patterns. And as soon as I'd watched it, I went and bought 2 of them because I fell in love with them. I've sewn up one of the bags that I got from the fold line. The other one I've got plans to sew up. I just haven't got round to doing it yet. So the first pattern is the Veronica Tucker Frankie bag, which has got 3 different size options. It's a really beautiful bag, and I've sewn it up already as a gift for somebody. I'll put a picture in now so you can see. But yeah, I've sewn it up already as a gift for somebody. It was a really enjoyable sew, and the bag turned out really beautiful as well. So you can do a small bag with shoulder straps, a medium bag with shoulder straps, or a medium bag with long straps. And it's a reversible kind of tote style bag with a knot detail to tie. And then it's also got a pocket in as well. In terms of fabrics, they recommend stiffer fabrics like a linen or a cotton twill or a canvas fabric. So the tiger fabric that I shared, this one, I'm going to turn that into the Frankie bag. I just need to work out what lining fabric I want to use for that beautiful fabric. And then the other pattern that I bought because of watching the bag video from the Fold line is the Crafts and Home Chamomile Organiser bag. And I want to sew this up for Lola because she's got lots of different hobbies at home. Oh, well, not just at home, she can take them away with her. And also I'd like to sew a version up for me too, so that when I'm traveling with my crochet, I've got a bag that just organises everything a little better. So the idea behind this pattern is it's an organiser bag. So good to store projects on the go, like, I don't know, if you're traveling to a sewing social, you can pack your current sewing project in there with like your scissors and your thread and things. Or if you're crocheting, you can put your crochet in there. Or if you're knitting, you can put your knitting in there. So it's like a bucket style bag with tie top handles, lots and lots of pockets inside. And then there's loops for like your scissors and your thread. And then there's also a drawstring closure. It looks like a really decent sized bag. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go. In terms of fabric, they recommend medium to heavyweight canvas, linen or quilting cotton. And then for the lining fabric, they recommend light to medium weight fabric like a cotton lawn or a cotton poplin, or a viscose fabric would work really nicely for the lining as well. And then the final pattern that I've bought, like I said, I was influenced by Georgie from Hey Sew Sister, and it's the BF Patterns Bestie bag, which is this really beautiful banana shaped bag. You can either carry it on your shoulder or you can have it as like a crossover, a crossbody bag too. There are 4 different views. So view A and B are medium size with the option for a flat or pleated front. And then views C and D are a large crossbody or shoulder wear bag. All versions have got a zip closure and all versions include pockets on the inside as well. I have sewn up, I can't remember if it was view C or D, but I've sewn up the large version that is a plain front, so it hasn't got the pleat on, and I wear it as a crossover bag. I took it away with me when I went away recently with my sister, and it was perfect for like a carry-on bag, like hand luggage. I fit so much in there. I had a whole outfit in there. I put my jacket in there. I had my purse, phone, keys, charger. I had water and snacks. You can fit so much in the large version of this bag, and it's a really comfortable bag to wear across the body as well. I used the cotton twill fabric from New Crafthouse, and that was absolutely perfect for sewing up this bag, and really kind of sturdy fabric to sew up this bag as well. I think you could have lots and lots of fun sewing up this bag, and I've definitely got plans to sew up a few more versions. I want to sew up a version for each member of my family as well, so that when we're going away to various different places, they've all got bags that they can fit like books in and water and all the other things that you want to bring along with you. So I would highly recommend the BF Patterns Bestie bag. I've definitely got plans to sew up a few more versions of that as well. So that was all of the fabrics and patterns I wanted to share with you. Like I said at the start of this video, I knew it was going to be a bumper version fabric and pattern haul. I had lots of fabrics to share with you and lots of patterns. I think that's what happens when you are sat around in hospital for a long time. I listened to lots of Audible books and we played lots of games and things, but in the evenings, Rubes was very sleepy a lot of the time, especially through the first part of recovery. So I had a lot of time where it was just me. So I was shopping the sales and looking at lots of beautiful patterns as well. If you've got any suggestions for any of the fabrics I've shared, please let me know in the comments below. If you've sewn any of the patterns, particularly Eleanor dress, I'm really interested in how you got on with that. So please let me know in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for your patience whilst I've been away. I'm hoping to slowly creep back onto YouTube and film some more videos regularly. I have got a video that I want to film where I'm going to talk about all of the things that I've been sewing up recently as well. So hopefully that will be coming back, and eventually I would like to go back to filming my Sunday sewing catch-ups too. I'm not sure if I can commit to that at the moment because, like I said, we've still got a long road ahead of recovery. We're approaching my birthday as well. My birthday's in the middle of June and I've got a special birthday coming up. So I've got lots and lots of plans with my birthday as well. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button. You get notified when I bring up my next videos. I am hoping to film another video talking about all the things that I've been sewing recently as well. So hopefully that will come out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, thank you so much. It's been really lovely to be back filming this video. And yeah, I'm looking forward to filming more videos soon. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.